This one's good. I am now an optometrist. Almost. You're all stressed. And it's not easy for anyone. Hi. This looks so light. I put so much cream, but it's so good. Okay. Hi. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. It has been a long time, and a lot has happened. I graduated. Yeah, that's everything. That is so nice. Thanks, Cora.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present you.
I got engaged.
You remind me of the Arizona thunder. Satisfy the times and make you wonder about the bigger picture in your life. The simple times in the Arizona thunder. The Arizona thunder tonight.
And I am now an optometrist. Almost. You'll find out in a minute. I still get a lot of questions and messages on Instagram and on YouTube. A lot of your questions are very in-depth and have a lot of parts to them, so I try to respond to everybody on there. If you ever do message me and it's been a couple days and I haven't, don't give up hope. I promise. I just don't want to open that when I'm out or when I'm with family or whatever. I want to take my time and read what you're asking, figure out if I have the answer, and if I don't, point you in the best direction. So basically, if you message me, I will get back to you. It just might take some time. But either way, I did want to make a whole nother Q&A video because it's been over a year since my last one. So let's get into it. Are you doing a residency? No, I decided to just get straight into working, and I did not want to do a residency. This one's good. How has the pandemic affected your ability to find employment? So it did not necessarily affect my ability to find employment. I had signed a contract and was employed before I even ended school, which was very lucky, and I highly recommend doing that your fourth year of school. Start reaching out, make sure your resume is good to go. That was nice to be able to graduate and say, I have a job lined up. However, what the pandemic has affected is my ability to obtain my license. It has taken so long, and I still don't have it. You can't legally practice as an optometrist without your license, so I do still have my job lined up. I just am waiting. It's been a pain. There's nothing I can do to speed up the process. I've reached out. I had my application sent before school even ended. They say it takes 6 to 8 weeks, but with everything going on in certain states, it's just been a lot longer. I have tried to make the most of this time. I don't think I'll ever get this much time off again, so it has been nice to have a break after school, but I just did not think it was going to be this long, and I just want to start working, making money, paying off my loans, and just start my life. So that's frustrating. I hope by this time next year for all the new grads, this isn't a thing anymore. All I can say is send in your application as soon as possible for your state license, and if you don't know exactly which state you're going to be in, if you're between 2 or 3, send them out everywhere because one state might be faster than the other. It's good to just be on top of that because it might take a really, really, really long time. How did you balance school and your personal life? I think I struggled with that a lot first and second year. I think the only way to successfully do that is to stay extremely organized when it comes to school. Because when you have school under control, you will feel better about going out to dinner or driving home to see your family or whatever it may be. Make your own study plans, stick to them as much as possible. So make study plans that are realistic. If you know that you have to reread material a certain amount of time, do that. If you fill your time by doing things that other people are doing that don't necessarily work for you, it's just a waste of time, which sounds very obvious, but also I found myself doing that. People would rewrite their notes or just read the PowerPoint 10 times or something, and I tried different ways. I would sit there and be like, oh, I just spent 2 hours rewriting my notes, but that didn't work for me. That wasn't enough for me. I needed to watch videos and I needed to hear things and talk things out sometimes. I think I said this in my first Q&A video, but figure out what works for you and then go from there and make a study plan that works for you personally. And even on that plan, you can schedule times where this is when you're going to FaceTime your friends, or this is when you're going to go out to eat. What are things you wish you knew about opto school when you started? Gosh, I guess I wish I knew how busy I was going to be. Coming from undergrad, it's a totally different atmosphere, which you know it's going to be more demanding, but until you're living it, you don't realize how much time it's really going to take. And I also wish I knew that it's okay to struggle and to have doubts. I hope that you find friends in your program that you can completely open up to and vent to when you feel overwhelmed about things. Even if they're friends from home or family or whoever it may be, know that it's okay to feel completely overwhelmed, because almost everybody else feels that way. Even if they don't look like it, even if they're not acting like it, everybody is working really hard towards the same goal. You're all stressed. And it's not easy for anyone. So just know you're not alone. If you ever feel like you need to talk or vent, feel free to message me. I will do my best to give you advice, or to just say, hey, I know, I felt that way too. It sucks. Because sometimes it really just does. But it is so, so, so worth it in the end. I'm so happy and relieved and proud because I did that. Like, you get to say I did that, and it's a really good feeling. How were boards? How did you study for it? So I've talked about boards a couple times. There's part 1, part 2, part 3, and I studied for part 1 with hello. For part 1, I used KMK. I used the signature package. It was one that had videos, which for me was super helpful. And I also got OptoPrep. I made my own schedule, and I honestly wish I would have just followed KMK's schedule because they know what they're doing. If I could go back, I would have just tried to do that. That's just me. Do what works for you. And part 2, I used OptoPrep a lot more than KMK, but I still did have the KMK package, and I went through everything through KMK first, a couple months out. Gosh, I'm trying to think of the actual timeline of when I did that, but then I was basically just doing OptoPrep up until that test. As far as part 3 of boards, I have a full video dedicated to just that, so I can post that somewhere here. Any interview tips? My first one is coming up. Good luck, that's awesome. These are very simple tips, but things that matter. Wear something you're super comfortable in, because I was so uncomfortable all day long, and it makes you feel weird. It just makes you not feel good. So make sure you are happy in what you're wearing, head to toe. So shoes, they matter. You're going to be walking around the campus most likely. You're going to be standing a lot, and you don't want to be in pain. Eat something. Just eat at least a granola bar before you go, because it's a long day. Try to come up with questions before you go. Questions that matter to you, academically about the school, or how they would handle what situation or whatever. Because as everybody says, even though they're interviewing you, you are interviewing them just as much. If they decide to accept you, you have to decide if you're going to go there. So ask questions that truly matter to you. Job plans. I touched on it a little bit. Obviously a little salty about the license thing. I'm not going to share where I will be working. I am just excited to start out in general optometry. I want to see a little bit of everything. As for now, I just want to start working and seeing patients and doing what I worked so hard to be able to do. Okay, I don't want this video to be super long, so I'm going to end it here. I don't know what the future holds for this channel. I would like to keep making videos. I don't know how often I will, but if you have any ideas or anything else you'd like to see, please let me know. And thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for supporting me through this entire journey.
You remind me of the